Welcome back, everyone. The 17-year-old accused of stabbing and killing another teenager at a track meet in Frisco ISD in the Dallas area is out of jail this morning, and his bond has been significantly lowered. He claims he stabbed 17-year-old Austin Metcalf as a form of self-defense. Senior legal analyst Tritico stuck around this morning to weigh in on this one. Welcome, and thanks for being here.
You bet.
What is your thought when you hear something like this, that his bond was lowered?
Well, it was probably the right thing to do. Under Texas law, the judge looks at several factors, the prior criminal history of the defendant, his ties to the community, and things like that. And when the judge looked at those factors in this case, they all weighed in favor of reducing the bond from $1 million. And the defense asked for $150,000. The judge reduced it to $250,000, put an ankle monitor on, and put him on home confinement. And he has to call in and talk to the bailiff in the courtroom every Friday.
And we heard from his family, and they kept repeatedly saying, look, we have ties to Frisco. He's not a flight risk. Right. He's never done anything wrong before and been in trouble with the law. Did that play into part of it?
All of that, and all of that ties directly to the factors laid out in the Code of Criminal Procedure and case law that says these are the things that the judge looks at in determining what the amount of bond should be. Bond, under the 8th Amendment, bond cannot be used as an instrument of oppression. In other words, we can't make it so high that the defendant can never get out of jail.
One thing that's come out of all of this is we found out in the very beginning that Anthony asked officers, can I be in trouble because I feel like this was self-defense? And he asked them, could this be self-defense? What do we know about this? We understand it was a seating issue, a misunderstanding. What have you found out about it? So
he was at a high school track meet, and at a high school track meet, every team, every high school sets up a tent, and their players sit under their tent during the meet, so they're not just sitting out in the sun. Anthony was in another high school's tent, sitting under the tent, and the victim came in and said, you need to get out of our tent. And Anthony said, put your hands on me and see what happens. And the kid grabbed him to put him out of the tent, and he produced a knife out of his backpack and stabbed him. And so I think that the defense is going to be that when he grabbed him, he had a right at that point to defend himself. Under self-defense, if you feel that your life is in danger or you're about to be hurt, you have the right to use defense, including deadly force, to defend yourself. The question is going to be what amount of force was necessary at that time to defend himself.
Now, is that where the stand your ground law applies?
Correct. In understand your ground, you have the right to stay right where you are and defend yourself if certain factors are in play. Did you have a legal right to be where you were, and were you in fear of your life?
What about having a weapon on school grounds? That seems to be a problem. Usually, at most schools, I don't know, there are all kinds of notifications that you can't have anything. But usually, I think it says firearms, not necessarily a knife.
Well, I don't know that a knife was allowed at that time where he was. I don't know that that's going to be necessarily a defeating factor with respect to self-defense. We'll have to wait and see.
All right, Chris, thanks for sticking around. Just to explain the law, how all this plays. I think it affects so many families who have kids in athletics, and you think about how easily something like this could happen, and it's just heartbreaking.
It's a sad case all the way around.
It really is. Thank you.